Hey guys, Jessica here with Home Sweet Farmhouse, and in this video we are going to be fixing this coffee table behind me. So I actually got this coffee table in my Buy Nothing group probably like three and a half years ago, and it was all solid black when I got it, and it was pretty bad off. So I brought it home and I sanded it all down, painted it, and distressed it, and I really love it now. But unfortunately, when we were in the process of painting it, we actually hung it to spray paint it, which, since I distressed it, was not really that necessary to do, but we did that, and when we had it hanging up and we were trying to take it down, it fell. It actually fell on my foot, and my foot was like for real hurt for a while, but it really damaged this leg over here. And my husband did kind of glue it back together, but so it's pretty cracked. Like the leg was almost coming off originally, so my husband glued it back together, and just over the years of use and like kind of moving it around, the leg has become very, very wobbly again. So the table, it's a substantial table, so it's pretty sturdy, but I wouldn't put a whole lot of weight on it. I wouldn't try to move it around by myself because the leg is so wobbly, and we've moved it around a couple of times just in like moving furniture around and stuff, and I always have to get my husband to help me because I don't want to drag it. I don't want to make the leg any worse. So a lot of times when table legs are like this, where they're wobbly and you just can't figure how to fix them, you're just gonna decide that the piece isn't any good anymore. You may throw it out or donate it, and really all you need to do is to get these corner plates. They're only a couple of dollars, and we're going to completely transform and fix this table so we don't have to get rid of it, because you know what? I spent a lot of time blood and sweat in putting this table exactly the way I liked it. I don't want to get rid of it, and I know you don't want to either. So for just a couple of dollars, we're going to fix this leg. So what we're going to be doing in this video is actually fixing the leg of this table, and in doing so, my husband found these really cool, what we found were these corner plates. It comes with screws and a long bolt that goes directly into the leg of the table, and this would work on probably any wooden table that has legs like these. So we're actually going to, in this video, take you all the way through how to install these and completely fix any table that you have like this, where one or more of your legs are wobbly and you're just really unsure of how to fix them. These corner plates are gonna fix them for you. So let's get right into this video. But real quick, before we do get into this video, I want to thank you for being here with me on Home Sweet Farmhouse on YouTube. At any point while you're watching this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. When you do, a bell will appear. Click the bell, select all notifications. That way YouTube can notify you every single time I post a new video. With that said, let's get right in to how to fix table legs. All right, so we're just gonna cut this package open so we can get all the pieces out. Again, we've got the corner plate. There's a large bolt that goes into the leg, and then 2 screws to secure it on either side. So we're gonna go ahead and start by opening the package. Okay, so on either side of the plate, we actually have to drill or actually cut grooves into the wood so that the sides of this corner plate can go down into the wood. So what he's doing right now is just marking on either side so he can create these little divots in the wood. Of course, you're not going to want to do that on the lines you create. You're going to want to do it just on the inside of the lines that you create. Okay, so what we found was this little tool here to attach to our Dremel. It is, what does it say? It's a sculpture tool. It's their carving engraving tool number 199, and it just goes on your regular Dremel tool. And I will put a link to all of these in the description below, including the corner plates. So this is what we're going to be using, or what my husband's going to be using, to create these little divots in the wood here so that the plate can actually sink into the wood. Okay, so the next task for putting these corner plates on is to drill the hole that is going to be in the leg for the bolt to go into. So when you're doing that, you want to find a drill bit that is just slightly smaller than the size of the threads on the bolt or screw that you are using. We're going to put the small screws in first just to stabilize the corner plate, but remember when you are choosing, I'm trying to get it to focus, when you're choosing your drill bit, to make sure that it is just slightly smaller, not the same size, slightly smaller than the thread of the screw that you're working with. Okay, once again, so for the large bolt that's going to go in the center of the bracket, we picked a drill bit that is slightly smaller. And what we're gonna do, this is a Jessica pro tip, what we're gonna do is use a piece of tape to measure on the drill bit so that we don't drill too far in, because you can kind of see the threads on the bolt are different on the top and the bottom. That's because the threads down here are actually going to be going into the leg, and the threads down here are just to tighten with. So we want to make sure when we're drilling the pilot hole that we don't go past this. We don't want to drill a hole all the way through the leg. So that pro tip is to use some tape, some masking tape, to mark on the drill bit so you know you don't go any further than that into the leg. Okay, so you want to be as straight and flat as you possibly can. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult because this is not a flat surface that he's drilling into. He's actually drilling into the corner of the leg, but you want to try to be as flat and even as you possibly can. So it makes it tight so that you can start screwing it down down towards the leg, but the tighter it gets, it'll start actually moving down the bolt, getting all the way down to the corner plate that we have in place and tightening it to the leg. All right, so we're switching gears here a little bit, and we are going to be using a ratchet with sockets instead of that crescent wrench. This is going to make it go a little bit quicker. So normally you would use a socket like this, but the problem with that is that this bolt is quite long, so it wouldn't be able to tighten the nut all the way down to the end of the bolt. So what we're going to be using are what's called deep well sockets. So we have this one right here. It's going to allow us to actually tighten that nut onto the bolt a lot further, so we have room to do it. And just to kind of give you a quick overview, now that we kind of have it in place, I'm going to tell you what this corner plate is actually going to be doing. So you can see that the leg is actually pretty wobbly still. We haven't really gotten the bolt into the leg yet, but what's happening is we're going to tighten that nut all the way down to the plate, and it's going to start pulling the leg closer towards the plate. And the plate has, you can see here, it's screwed in and really dug into the wood of the table. So that's really going to provide a lot of strength to the leg, and it won't be wobbly any longer. So you can kind of see here, he's getting really close. That nut is getting down to the plate. It's pulling the leg into the plate, and the leg is starting to stabilize. There, it's starting to, yeah, you can see it was a lot less wobbly there. There we go. Now there's no more wobble to the leg. All right, so again, we have, or he has, put the tape on his drill bit for the size of the screw that he's going to be putting in. And this is so important, especially on a piece like this, because the wood is only so thick. You do not want to wind up with a hole going all the way through your wood. We also decided to change out the screws that came with the packet for some longer screws, because the sides, the little indentations that we put in the wood for the sides of the bracket are not as deep as they could possibly be. So we want to make sure that they hold really, really well. So we're using longer screws. All right, guys, so if you don't have a Dremel tool and you want to save money, that is okay. You don't have to have the Dremel tool. You don't have to cut these grooves into the wood. It's still going to be perfectly stable and perfectly fine. And we actually didn't drill the deepest divots in the wood, so don't be too harsh on me for that in the comments. So this leg is just a teeny bit wobbly, but this bracket is going to make a huge difference. Just watch. I'll also put a link for this Hitachi drill down in the description box. This is a really good drill. It has a short nose on it. It's really lightweight. It's easy for even me to use. So I highly recommend this one. It is the focus in on that. Hitachi 18 volt. Really, really good, actually. Really good drill. It has brushless motors, which actually makes it last a lot longer. It is an investment, but I highly recommend getting one because you will not believe how many times you go to grab your drill. All right, so you know how you learn things as you go? Yeah, so we're on the 4th leg, and what he's decided to do is, instead of marking both sides of the bracket at the same time, he's only starting with marking the first side of the bracket, because once you drill the hole, or yeah, once you like actually use the Dremel and do the little divot in the wood, it actually slightly moves where the second side lands on the wood. So now that he has that little divot dremeled into the wood, now he's going to be marking where the second side of the bracket lands on the other side. All right, now all that's left to do is go get my vacuum and vacuum up all this wood dust before we turn it over, because I don't want all this winding up on the carpet. I do have to vacuum today, but still, I don't want this on the carpet. All right, so in like, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, we got all 4 brackets are put on these legs. The table is completely sturdy now. Like before, I could just barely touch it and it would wobble, and now I'm like pushing and it is not wobbling at all. I mean, I love this table. Just because it has a wobbly leg doesn't mean we need to get rid of it and buy something new. Let's just fix it, right? It was just a few dollars, just a few minutes of our time. We got it all done. Yes, my husband's time. We got it all done, and now we have this beautiful table that is no longer wobbly. We don't have to worry about it anymore, and you can too. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this quick and easy fix, and once you try it out, let me know how it worked for you. In fact, you can post on Instagram and let me know. My handle is right down here somewhere. I'll put it down here, and post and let me know, tag me. As a reminder, everything we used in this video I will have linked in the description below. And real quick before you leave, here's another cool DIY project that you're not going to want to miss right here. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. A bell will appear. Click the bell, select all notifications. That way YouTube can notify you every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for being here with me on Home Sweet Farmhouse, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.